We go to a top story that we are tracking right now. PM Modi's Moscow visit, all eyes on the visit. Apart from meeting Putin, he will also be holding bilateral talks with at the highest level. And not just that. Okay, we're getting visuals coming in of the Prime Minister about to depart for that big meeting right now. PM Modi departing at 11 a.m. He was supposed to depart for Moscow. He has also tweeted a short while back before departing. These are visuals coming in on Republic TV of the Prime Minister live boarding and planning for Moscow. He is boarding the flight as we speak, and just before he boarded that flight, he has also tweeted a short while back, "I'm embarking on an official visit to the Russian Federation for the 22nd annual summit and my first ever visit to Republic of Austria over the next 3 days." He has tweeted this, and he has also said that he will be holding talks. I look forward to reviewing all aspects of bilateral cooperation with my friend, President Vladimir Putin, and sharing perspectives on various regional and global issues. We seek to play a supportive role for a peaceful and stable region. The visit will also provide me an opportunity to meet the vibrant Indian community in Russia. All right. Let's go straight across to my colleague Sucharita is joining us live from Moscow. Sucharita, PM Modi planning for Moscow. You're already there. What is happening in Moscow? We know the Indian diaspora is also waiting for the Prime Minister Modi to land. It's going to be a very, very important visit.
Yes, Shivangi, and as I speak to you, I was on my way to be meeting a few of those Indians who are going to be part of that event. We've been speaking to them since yesterday. We've tried to get you pictures of even Russians who are equally enthusiastic about the Prime Minister's visit once he's going to be here in Russia. And as you speak to us, we're getting those visuals of the Prime Minister embarking on this 3-day visit to Russia and Austria. Very, very important. He himself has tweeted and said that there are relationships with these two countries that go decades back, and we are just fostering those ties with these friendly nations, Russia and Austria. Now, Russia, I'm here in Moscow. I've been speaking to the Indian diaspora. I've been seeing the excitement that is in them when the Prime Minister comes in, because this is going to be his Moscow visit after 9 years. He was in Russia in 2019, which was Vladivostok, but he was not in Moscow, and he's coming to the Russian capital. He's going to be having a private dinner with President Putin tonight. He's going to be addressing the Indian diaspora tomorrow. There are I've already sent on those visuals, and if your director could play in those visuals of children who are preparing for the performances for the Prime Minister. It's a matter of great pride for these Russian children, for these Indian diaspora children, because I call them Russian now because they are living here now, and they are the ones. And they are the ones who are going to be taking this relationship forward. So the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's leaving for Russia on this visit, he's going to be here around 3 p.m. in the afternoon, Moscow time, which is going to be roughly about 5:30 your time, the Indian Standard Time. And the Prime Minister is going to be here. He is going to be addressing the Indian diaspora. Very significantly, Russia-India ties that we've been talking about. India and Russia. Russia has been an all-weather friend. We know that the way Russia and India have been not just cooperating militarily, but it is also cultural ties, it is also space technology, it is also people-to-people contact. And that is precisely why a very, very important issue of Indians who'd been duped into working for the Russian army is expected to be taken up by the Indian Prime Minister with the Russian president. A very, very important issue that is expected to be taken up by the Indian Prime Minister. He's going to be here. He's going to be amidst the Indian diaspora. Let me tell you that the community event is tomorrow, stated for about 9 a.m. in the morning. But the Indian community, I've been speaking to them since yesterday. They're going to be here at the Carlton Hotel to welcome the Prime Minister once he arrives here. So you're going to see a glimpse and a teaser of what is going to happen tomorrow at the community event. event today as well, once the Prime Minister reaches his hotel, and there's going to be a welcoming crowd there. All these Indians who've been staying in Russia, who are staying in Moscow, are going to be there to welcome the Indian Prime Minister, who's going to be here in a matter of few hours from now. As he's leaving India, he's on his way to Russia, Moscow now, and it is going to be a very, very significant meeting when I say the Prime Minister Narendra Modi choosing his third term and choosing Russia as his first bilateral visit. A lot of eyebrows were raised. We know that there are American sanctions on Russia. We know that the European nations have sanctioned Russia. And at this particular time, India becomes a very, very important partner for Russia. And the Prime Minister also signifying it in his attempt to come to Russia, making Russia as his first bilateral visit. See, we've seen 2 tenures of Narendra Modi, and we've seen that in those 2 tenures, he has given significance to Indian neighbors. He's given significance to countries like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan. He's been to those countries. But this term, his third term, we saw him going to G7, where India was an invited member. But his first bilateral visit is to Russia. So this is a statement. It's also a kind of messaging. This question was asked to the press secretary before the Prime Minister's visit, very categorically, that is India trying to send a message? Is India trying to signal out that Russia, that it stands with Russia, though he very clearly refuted it. He said these bilaterals are planned already, but this will be signaling and messaging to the West that India's foreign policy thrives on strategic autonomy, and very clearly messaging that out. We are going to be choosing our partners, we are going to be choosing our friends and our allies, and that very clearly comes out in Prime Minister's visit to Moscow as his first bilateral visit. Shivangi.
Right, well, Sucharitha, you are right there in Moscow, and we know that you were in the iconic Red Square. That's where the Kremlin is, and we will see that area, Red Square, will be very important because it is near the Kremlin. Not only that, school children and members of the Indian diaspora will be greeting the Prime Minister Modi. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, there's always an excitement again around these community events that the Prime Minister holds in different countries. There is always that excitement, and because we've seen it across Prime Minister's visit to different countries, the Indian diaspora enthusiastic, excited to welcome the Prime Minister. Also, because they become the emblem of these ties, these fostering ties between two nations, and that is why very significantly they show their presence. They're there to welcome the Prime Minister, and they're also in a way carrying forward the legacy of two countries together.